Okay, is this thing live? Hopefully it is. Let's see. Hopefully it's live. Um, yeah, we're live. Okay, good. Hi guys. So welcome to the second part of our reactions to the second rehearsals at Eurovision 2022. I'm here with two other panelists today because yeah, we had a lot of scheduling issues these days, but we're gonna continue on. Obviously, I'm the face of the channel you're on right now, and I would like to hand it over to Nicholas to introduce himself, and then Terry.
Okay, I'm going to be quick. Hello, my name is Nicholas, and I'm a Eurovision fan from Greece.
And I'm Harry, and I'm also a Eurovision fan from the UK, namely England.
Yeah, so basically the part we have to blame for Brexit, but shh. No, I'm kidding. So I asked you this earlier, but Harry, since you weren't here last time, I guess can you round up your favorites for semifinal one, and then we're gonna move on to semifinal two.
Yeah, so I said Albania was one of my favourites, and also Nicholas is going to like this one, Greece as well. And I'm also going to add a wild card in there as well. It's a real guilty pleasure of mine. I do love the Croatian song as well, personal level.
Okay, that was a surprise, I think.
Yeah, I think he's lying because he wants to like be good with me, but you don't need to because I don't like that song. You can find out more about what I think about the Croatian entry on Pascal's channel, who unfortunately couldn't make it here today. But yeah, and actually, we're going to be hopefully popping off from this stream earlier as well because they're doing the scoreboard. But anywho, let's start with the first song of semifinal one, and that would be
Two.
Finland. Now, I'm gonna, because I have press accreditation, so I've seen this run throughs of this several times. I don't like the song. It wasn't my favorite in UMK. In fact, it was my last place in UMK. I liked the song that they're famous for. I didn't love the song that they're famous for. I don't get how they can still be famous from that one song. I really hope it doesn't go through, but there is this nightmare scenario where it does. But yeah, the staging was messy. They kept bumping into those balloons. The camera angles sucked, which maybe isn't on them. It's probably on the Italians because they've sucked at camera angles this entire time. But yeah, I have no other comments. So, any one of you guys want to say anything about Finland?
I would agree. I don't like this song very much. It's okay. Like it doesn't really do anything for me, especially since Finland sent a rock entry last year. It kind of feels like they're playing to what they do best, and unfortunately, it's just a bit of a watered down entry compared to Dark Side last year.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with both. Going from Dark Side to Jezebel was like falling 3 places down, and I really wanted Finland to step up on their game because they're a very underrated country. I don't like the song. I didn't like the staging. It's the same as the national final, as far as I saw from the clip in the Eurovision channel. And his vocals were also a little bit shaky, I think.
And it
Uh,
didn't mesh well with the background vocals because I don't think that they have them pre-recorded. I think everything is live. So yeah.
yeah, yeah. I don't think that just because they're a well-known name in Europe that this is going to guarantee them a place in the final. I wouldn't like this to qualify, to be honest.
Same. The only
Even
thing I
though it's
will
not there, yeah.
say, the only thing I will say that I really commend the Finnish broadcaster for finally having Sami language commentators at this year's Eurovision. It's going to be the first time that people from Lapland will be able to listen to Eurovision in their own languages, which I think is a really, really beautiful thing. But yeah, moving on to a country that exists if you ask some people and does not if you ask some other people. To me, it exists. It's Israel.
Mhm.
Again, I tend to really like Israeli entries. I am still not over the shock non-qualification from 2014, and she was last place, which May Feingold did not deserve that. But yeah, this year I'm just gonna refrain from commenting. Any one of you guys want to take that?
Here's the thing. When I first heard I Am on the X Factor stage, it sounded incredible. I think the revamp did it absolutely no justice, and I don't particularly like this style of singing because it kind of reminds me of the Drag Race, um, very over the top, flamboyant, and to the point where it's grating, to the point where it's like, okay, yeah, you can calm down now.
Yeah, I'm going to agree. The first version of the song was kind of bearable, but the revamp was. It really hurts my ears while I listen to the song. I can't stand to listen until the first chorus, I think. And I think that this is going to be my first toilet break in the second semifinal. Um, yeah, no, I'm just being kind of mean, but yeah, I can't stand the song and I can't stand the singer too, for some reason. He's kind of overreacting on stage and he really shouldn't. And yeah, I also don't get the hype around the staging and the song after his second rehearsal. That especially the Greek fans are like, this is qualifying for sure, and this is going to take the place of another song in the semifinal. I don't think this is happening, and I wouldn't like to see that happen.
Yeah, I just echo everything that you guys are saying. I do think that his dance moves are really good. His voice vocals are really good, considering that we have an entry later, which I disliked intensely, and whose vocals were the only thing which saved it, and it isn't working out right now. But yeah, it definitely moved up for me seeing this aging. But yeah, to be honest, I've never heard the song in full until I got, or well, I'm not in Turin, but until I saw the rehearsals, and I'm not gonna play the song again. So yeah. Now, from one controversy to another, considering that I'm Croatian, we're off to Serbia. I love this. It's basically the same thing that you saw in the Serbian national final. The only difference is that in some parts of the song, they added subtitles and it looks a bit more cinematic, I guess. Yeah, I enjoy it. I want to say it's a 100% qualifier, but then again, I wouldn't be surprised if it's a shock non qualifier because I think our Balkan humor, our Balkan sarcasm sometimes doesn't translate well to the rest of Europe. But yeah, anything you guys want to say about that?
Yeah, there has not been a day since I discovered this song, which was very late on. So when this song actually won, was the first time I really heard this song all the way through. And there hasn't been a day since then that I haven't actually listened to this song. It is hypnotic, and it really does capture your attention. The only way I can really describe it, and it's a bit vulgar, is as like an onion, and you peel the layers to get to the central message, and there's lots and lots of layers. I think that's where the jury vote is going to really play. Is there's a deep message behind it. But my fear with this song, as much as I love it, is that I don't know how the public outside of Serbia will respond to this. Like you say, the Serbian humor is could be very different to say like the British humor. Probably the Brits will look at it and go, "Why should I talk about Meghan Markle? What's that about?" So yeah, the subtitles definitely will help that, I think.
Yeah, I think I'm going to agree. This song is very edgy. It's either going to be on the top five in the grand final or it's going to be disqualified. It's not going to be a shocking disqualifier for me because, yeah, I expect it for the public not to respond to this song as the Eurofans do. Besides, it's my biggest grower, together with Ireland and Portugal, I think. Um, yeah, the sun is blocking her performance for sure, and yeah, I'm not just going to comment more on the stage.
Yeah.
Anyway, I want this in the final, and I think that it's going to be in the final. I don't see this out.
Yeah, I hope it will be in the final just for the sake of variety, considering that I feel like we will lose some songs that are quote unquote different from the semifinal. I think we need a bit of that kind of diversity in the final. So, yeah. Moving on to song four, and I don't even know what song four is because it's just so dull and boring. It's Azerbaijan. Um, yeah, I have to say his vocals are fantastic. He blew me away during every single take of his rehearsal. I'm still not sure that this is a qualifier, considering that if we're going to do the battle of the staircases, because Australia has a staircase in the performance just like he does, he wins it for me. The Australian guy wins it for me. But yeah, anything you guys think about the Azerbaijani performance?
It's a tricky one because there's an element of the song that I really like, that it's traditional and then it builds very much like I can only compare it really to John's Tears from 2021 a little bit, and but there is a part that I don't like, and I think that came a lot down to the release date as well. I think they released it very late, so therefore I'd already kind of made my mind up on some of my potential favourites. But as far as Azerbaijani entry goes, it probably is one of the weaker ones in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. It's very weak, in my opinion, too. But since his vocals are good and the staging is also good, as far as I saw from the clip, it could do well with the jury votes. And I mean top three on the jury votes, not just well. Um, yeah, and then it's just how the public is going to react to the song. I think it's going to
Actually,
be borderline out in the televoting, but still this is going to push it to the final because of the
actually,
juries.
yeah, actually, one thing that you said, it kind of got me thinking about who could vote for Azerbaijan, and I remember that Germany is voting in the semifinal, and Germany is basically 20% Turks at this point.
Yeah,
So I think Turkish people are gonna really like stand up behind Azerbaijan and put them through. But I wouldn't mind if they didn't. I mean, I
yeah.
have
I mean,
respect
I
for
don't want
him.
them in. I don't want them in because
Yeah.
I think it's just they repeat the same package each year, in my opinion. Apart from Matahari last year,
Hmm.
the other Azeri entries are very similar. And yeah, for example, the staging this year reminds me of Hold Me back in 2013, just
Yes,
outside the box with the stairs. It's the same. It's the same staging actually.
I would actually agree with that. It even the song reminds me of 2013 and 2015 Azerbaijan. It's very much how they do a ballad. Um, I do think that this is a step up compared to both entries. The issue it being that those entries are now 10 years old. So, and this definitely sounds like it's something produced in 2022, but I don't think it necessarily saves it. Yeah, if we don't have any more comments on Azerbaijan, then I would like us to switch to song number five from another country from the Caucasus. I'm not talking about the US state of Georgia, I am talking about the country of Georgia. And I have to say, I'm a bit underwhelmed by Georgia, considering that we have this completely crazy band with the name Circus Mercus. You would think that their staging would be just as crazy, that their outfits would be just as crazy. And they are definitely a shocking band, but it really wears off after like 20 seconds. and it's just like, oh, okay, so this song is like, okay. I don't think they're gonna come last, but I don't see a pathway for it in the final. Any thoughts, you guys?
I think what I was expecting from Georgia was for them to follow the circus theme. And I was expecting that to continue from the song and the performance. Kind of like, the one I can compare maybe would be like Royan from the
Yes.
Reddi Grand Prix 2021. We're not getting that, unfortunately, but I do think some cultures might actually appreciate this song. I'm going to say particularly the UK. I think it's very sort of Britpop style, and it's that kind of weird that people would go, you know what, they're crazy enough, we'll go for it. Because the UK did actually give Georgia 12 points with 2016, and I think this is the kind of thing they're going to vote for. But whether that goes beyond that, I don't know. And I do expect that Georgia won't qualify with this.
That was exactly what I was going to say, because the UK is voting in the semi-final, and I just recalled that Midnight Gold received 12 points from the UK, and it was slided into the grand final, and it was a shocking qualifier that year, at least for me. Apart from that, when I clicked on the rehearsal clip to watch it, I was like, oh, it's like watching the Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, because the lead singer is that reminded me of Johnny Depp in that movie. Yeah, it was like watching that thing. Still, I don't think that this is going to push them in the grand final. It's a crazy staging. Yeah, it's a very different and alternative song, but yeah, I don't think that the 2016 effect is going to be repeated this year. I think it's one of the countries that is definitely out in the semifinal.
Yeah. And wasn't Georgia in the weaker semifinal even in 2016? I can't remember.
Yeah.
Right? Because I remember the shocking non-qualifier beating Norway that year, and I definitely think she should have.
And I was like, I almost broke our home TV that year because of Norway's disqualification, because Norway in 2016 was my winner. And I was like,
I love that song, but
that can be.
people hated it because they were
real.
like, "Oh, it's so choppy. It doesn't seem connected." I'm like, "Fuck you."
No, it was like amazing. I loved that transition and that
Same.
that changing bit. It was like so good. Yeah.
Yeah, that was an epic entry.
Yeah. Okay, now we're going off to Malta, which I know, Nicholas, you don't dislike this. I dislike it intensely. And in my opinion, it was not helped by the staging. She's on the piano, then she's with the dancers. She's a great vocalist, but because she's focusing on the dancing, the vocals are shaky. They're not at the point of Britney Spears, but they're like right next to that. Yeah, I really don't want Malta to go through. I don't think it's going through, and I am what I am. That's my opinion. So this opinion is what it is, and yeah. Any thoughts, guys?
Yeah, here's the thing. I don't understand why Malta held a national final if they were going to completely disregard the winning song. Now, here's the thing. I love Emma Muscat. Her song "I Need Somebody" was a real pop banger. Absolutely love it. But this song, "I Am What I Am," it's taken a real Malta in the wrong direction. And it's such a shame. It's a wasted opportunity for Malta because, like I say, Emma Muscat, amazing singer, but I Am What I Am does nothing. I will say though that I do have it down as a potential shock qualifier. I'm not sure why. It's just giving me that sort of like it could be a last minute sort of 10th place finisher.
Yeah, and I could actually also I agree with that, but I can also see it coming last, like in the semi, like completely, because I think the televote is not really inclined to give Malta points, and if the jury is going to vote on anything, they're going to vote on the voice, and right now the voice isn't up there. Yeah, Nicholas, any thoughts on your end?
Yeah. as you said, it's not that I dislike the song. I like it actually. um, but yeah, here's the thing: the staging reminds me of Junior Eurovision, and specifically Australia back in 2015 with Pella Page and My Girls. It's the same. It's the same color. It's the same, almost the same outfit. It's the same vibe. It's very
Isabella
Junior Eurovision.
sang better.
Yeah, it's a jury friendly song, and Malta is one of the countries that is always one of the favorites from the juries. And I think it's going to be on the jury's qualifiers, but yeah, I don't think that the public are going to give them enough votes.
Yeah,
Just like with Taboo back in 2018. It's
yeah,
like watching the same story again and again with Malta.
yeah.
I on the
And I
jury and
think,
you on the televote.
yeah, and I think the worst thing about it is that they had such a gem in Ritmu and Aiden, and I've been seeing him on all the like pre-parties, and I feel like he's a better cultural representative of Malta than Emma Muscat is this year, because
But to
I've
be
barely
honest,
seen her anywhere.
I never fancied that song.
Oh, okay.
It's like say my name. It's the same beat, and yeah, I don't know. It was just not for me.
I think Malta can they could probably ditch the national final and just internally select Aiden. The fans obviously want it, and if Malta wants any hope of winning again, if Destiny couldn't do it last year, probably Aiden's the one to put Malta back towards the top, I think.
And I think it would be really good to hear Maltese at Eurovision, because
Yeah,
clearly
yeah.
everyone else is like, no, we don't want to do it, and he's the only one in Malta doing it. And it's crazy to me how he got second in the televote, but then Emma Muscat's song was nowhere near on the Maltese charts, and his song was number one for like 10 weeks. So, yeah.
Yeah, but out of Sight was never released on any,
Yeah,
music
but I
platform
think
online.
they go by radio streams. I think that's how the charts work, if I'm not
Oh,
mistaken.
okay, yeah,
Yeah,
but it's a
radio
combination
plays.
of both, I think,
Oh,
together, radio and online streams. But I could be wrong, yeah.
Harry, do you have any insight in that?
Um, yeah, it basically boils down to streams and also radio play, a mixture of the two. Normally, that's how it works over here, anyway.
Okay. Did we cover Malta? I think we covered Malta.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now we're moving on to another tiny, tiny nation that has even tinier clothes this time around and
Oh no.
even less clothes. More and more as the performance goes on, and it's San Marino and Achille Loro with Stripper. Okay, so I always preferred this rock song to Finland just because it's kind of that classic rock, but not dull and boring rock, if that makes sense.
Hmm.
And I knew he was gonna bring something out of the box for the staging. I did not expect him, how to put it in a non-sexual way, sitting up on a bull and okay, writing it. There's no kind of other euphemism I can think of. Yeah, I think this is comfortably qualifying. It doesn't even need Italy in the semifinal to vote for it, which it doesn't have. I think it'll have wide appeal, and I think we're gonna be seeing something very similar to Iceland 2019, where the televote really kind of backs up San Marino. What do you guys think about Achille Loro?
Yeah, I personally love this song. I really do, and it's not the kind of song I go for. It's him. I believe the performer Achille. He sells this song. It kind of reminds me of a little bit like Lil Nas X, a little bit, but definitely appreciate San Marino trying something different again. It's never ever the same sort of thing with San Marino. You kind of always get that sort of surprise. So I think, I agree that it's probably going to qualify. Yeah.
Okay. It's one of the 5 songs that I still despise and haven't grown on me like at all after the rehearsals. I can't stand to listen to this song more than 1 minute. uh, yeah, it's very similar to Iceland back in 2019, but the only difference is that Iceland was like more dance electric song, and San Marino this year is a rock song. The first category has more followers. I don't know if you can catch me up on that, than this kind of rock songs that San Marino sends this year. Unfortunately, I think it is going to qualify because of the staging and his presence on the stage, but still, I don't think that I'm going to change my mind after the shows. I can't listen to the song.
I mean, I think if people are gonna be looking at Finland versus San Marino, I do think they're gonna go for San Marino just because Finland is so plain and vocally unreliable. Whereas every single run through that I had with Achille, he sounded on the pitch and key. Not that he really has a pitch and key in that song. It's very flat, doesn't really require a lot. But yeah, and I think the shock factor is there. There's nothing shocking about the Finnish performance, unless you consider his abs shocking, and they're nothing to gawk at either. So, yeah,
And
that's my
San
thoughts.
Marino is also in a safer spot, I think. Number 1 to number 7 is kind of
Yeah,
safe.
and especially coming after Malta, I mean, that really helps you.
Exactly.
Yeah, that helps you because I do think that on some level, the first and last song kind of also get forgotten because you're like the first song, you're like comparing the second song already to the first song, and then that hurts both the first and second song, and then usually the third song is where it kind of starts picking up. But yeah, thank you, Aoife, for being here. Aoife, I'm assuming you're from Ireland. Uh, Hi to the Great Emerald Isle. Yeah, watch Aoife be from Northern Ireland and be unionist. No, I'm kidding. Um, I'm kidding. Okay, and then we go to Australia, if I'm correct, right? Yeah, Australia. So again, I saw all 3 run-throughs. Again, I think the staircase is better than Azerbaijan's. It has more of a presence. That being said, there was no run through where he was vocally perfect. And the reason for it is the prop team is really slow with like changing the staircases, and then the camera angles and the lights are not helping. Like they were awful, but that day, like, so that was Friday, right? I think it was Friday when those second rehearsals started, and Australia was the first one in the morning at 10 a.m. And they just did not have their shit together. And in fact, Sheldon had to do an additional performance after all the second rehearsals ended that day, and he was one of 5 countries to have to do that. And the other big issue is the weight of the outfit. It's 40 kilograms, and he's just having trouble walking up the stairs with it. That being said, it only really affects those 20 seconds in the bridge where he's walking up to the pole, up to the main staircase. Everything else is vocally perfect. And they cleaned up most of the camera angles in the last take that I saw of the day. So I think this is comfortably sailing through. but I didn't get the winner vibes I got when I listened to him in the national final performance. Yeah, any thoughts, you guys?
Initially, I was never really a fan of this song. It doesn't appeal to me. For me, it's very theatrical. That's not a bad thing, but just on personal level, it's just not for me. But I have every faith that Australia will be back in the grand final this year. I think Sheldon sells this song really well. It's very emotive, but it's going to really count on, like you said, his vocals. It's what's going to really set it apart.
Yeah, I think it's a more dramatic song to compare to Azerbaijan, for example. Uh, yeah, I could see that, on the top three of the jury vote, and I think that it's going to get some televotes to be on the top 10. He has the stage presence that the public will remember, considering that he has he kept the national final performance, with the mask and the whole thing.
Yeah, so everything is the same. It's just a different dress and the staircase. The like,
Okay, okay,
yeah.
okay. Considering that and that vocally he's perfect. Yeah, I think this will easily qualify.
One thing I do have to say that I kind of went back and looked at his voice performances, and I was thinking he was going to bring a staircase, but I was also thinking in one of the performances he had like he was in a bed of flowers on stage, and also that bed of flowers extended in the LED, and it looked so cool. And I thought, oh, maybe he's gonna do that, and he didn't, which is fine. But like, I kind of imagined this whole elaborate thing in my head, and now it's not gonna happen. But I do think that it looks beautiful either way. Oh, and hi, Eva. So you are from Ireland, but you're not a unionist, so I guess you're happy about Sinn Féin winning in Northern Ireland. Yeah, just don't say Jude. I said that. Yeah, just don't tell Jude. Oh God, it's been a long day. My English isn't on point. Anywho, we move on to Cyprus. Now, Cyprus is another one of those countries who had to perform again at the end of the day. And the issue was she wasn't on the pitch and key. Then the microphone also wasn't working, it was going in and out. The dancers are having trouble being in sync and being where they have to be at the moment they have to be. Everything around it looks great, apart from these god awful camera angles, which are every time that they do a wide shot, it just looks awful because like the back part of the stage looks completely empty. It looks just a pitch black void. I was scared initially for Ireland, considering it's in a kind of quadrant of really good songs: San Marino, Australia, Cyprus, Ireland. I was thinking, like, okay, if I have to pick who the weakest link is, not from my perspective, but from possibly the perspective of the public, it would be Ireland. But I wouldn't be surprised if Cyprus got less votes than it will have gotten had everything been done correctly. Any thoughts on Cyprus?
Um, Here's the thing. I appreciate Cyprus not sending another blonde Lady Gaga or Shakira ripoff like in previous years, although they have been okay songs. But I've never really understood the hype around the Cypriot entry this year. And from what I've seen in the 30-second clip, it's not blowing me away. And I think Cyprus could be a shock non-qualifier, personally.
Yeah, I was going to start in the exact same way that Cyprus is going to be the shock non-qualifier of the night. I think I'm sure now. I have a lot to say about Cyprus because I follow the singer since she was on The Voice back in 2014, and I still follow her, with her latest singles. Yeah, at first I was very excited when she was picked to represent Cyprus. At first I thought that she was going to be the Greek entrant last summer, but no. Um, yeah, I was also very excited that it was an ethnic pop song and it was not the same song that was repeated in 2019 and 2021. Um, yeah, I got some voice messages from her rehearsal, and I heard that she was completely off key, especially in the second chorus. And I saw the clip in on YouTube, and she seems kind of bland, kind of bored to be on stage, and I'm quite surprised because I don't know. That's not her performing. I've seen her perform on stage again, and she's not like that. I don't know if it's just if she's pissed off with the organization this year, as all the delegations are, or if it's because she wasn't ready or she didn't want that much to go to Eurovision this year. But yeah, I'm very disappointed, and I think that it could not qualify.
I would second also Aoife in her saying this. But I do think that she was very much kind of bothered to be on the stage at all. She was, I do think that the whole organization of the show has put a lot of unnecessary stress on the artists. And again, I talked to the Montenegrin singer, and she was very distraught. And yeah, I think it's a really tough position for everyone, and certain people are taking it a lot better than others. And I don't think that Cyprus is one of those people. But one of the people who are totally excited to be there, soaking every single second of it, loving it, is the Irish delegation, and boy, do they have reason to. So when I was imagining Brooke's performance, I kind of had everything that she did in my mind, plus a couple of extra things, but I didn't think they were going to do that anyway, because why would they bring an Irish telephone box and have her sing the middle section in it? But yeah, this was just fantastic from the get go. Every single camera angle was fantastic. Apart for one camera angle that those lazy Italians, and I can say that because again, they invaded us. We were on.
Oh, we've lost him.
So you start talking about the Italians, you pull the plug.
Oh, great.
Okay, are we live again? Okay, good. Sorry, I think it's on my end. So she starts off on the floor, kind of like in the music video when she's on the floor and she has her hair kind of around her. And then her dancers are like, I guess, twitching with the beat. And then they kind of get up, they do the choreo that you kind of saw on the Late Show, but it's kind of more slick, it's better, and she doesn't seem as confused on stage. I think during the pre-party she was constantly like, where do I look, what do I do, where do I look, what do I do? And she really is just kind of letting her personality show this time around. And yeah, the only camera angle that I really hate is the one that they keep doing for all the kind of fast-paced performances, and it's that slow pan like this, and you see it in the clip. So like when the pyro starts and then it's like dragging out, and it's just like so ineffective. But they're doing it to every single performance, so they clearly love that shot where you see a little of the water and then you see the performer, and it's yeah. And yes, the Italians definitely got me, although to be fair, they're too lazy to even hack, so I doubt it's them. It's probably the Russians. Yeah. Anyone have anything to say about Ireland? I know, Harry, you were in Ireland quite recently, so maybe you kick it off.
Yeah, that was about a week ago now. So what we'll say about the panning, actually quite interestingly, is that in Copenhagen, when they had the water channel around the stage, they still managed to make that look effective and make it look quite quick. Whereas I have noticed it is a slow pan, what I call the UK shot, because the UK loves a good slow pan at the front of the stage. Really
Yeah,
do.
but it's not the Great British Bake Off. It's
No,
Eurovision.
it definitely isn't. Yeah, what I was expecting from Ireland was something very much carbon copy from the Late Show selection, but from what I've seen, she has dramatically improved. Brooke has, and I was a huge fan of the song pre-contest, pre-rehearsals. I think Ireland is looking to book a place in the final. I think they could actually be a surprise, sort of top 15. I think it's fun enough. I think it's um, sort of almost different to a lot of acts as well. It is bubblegum pop friendly, where a lot of acts are very much dramatic and melancholic.
That's actually
Yeah,
a great observation because this semifinal is really ballad heavy and drama heavy. Yeah, that could definitely work in their favor. And also, Alicia Michelle loves the song and thinks it's going to qualify. So I think Ireland is pretty safe.
okay, so Ireland this year is the exact example of we have to wait to see the rehearsals to have a complete opinion about a song. At first, I was like, "This is such a cheap and song and production." And then, as time got by and I started listening more to the song during the rehearsals, the first rehearsals, and when I saw how it's going to look on TV, I was like, yeah, this could sneak through. Her vocals have improved a lot since the Late Show. And I think she has that savage factor that this song needs. I felt that savage vibe from just seeing her perform, and I was like, yeah, this is enough for me to go to the final. It can go
Yeah.
well in the televote. I don't know how the juries are going to react because it's such a bipolar here this year because I think that the jury votes and the televotes in the semifinals and the final are going to be very different, and I don't know. I don't have a complete prediction about the qualifiers.
Same
I'm still
for,
uncertain. I'm still
yeah.
uncertain about many countries.
And also, we still don't know what the criteria for the jury vote will be because the production team sends the jury criteria, like base your votes on the vocals or base your votes on the entire performance. Last year was on the entire performance, which I think would help Ireland a lot, but we still don't know. So I can't say that it's going to go either way for Ireland in the jury, but I do think that they're going to get a lot of televote love because the UK is voting. So I think the Sinn Féin will really rally again, really rally for Ireland and put them through, hopefully. Yeah, so should we continue to song number 11, which is North Macedonia?
Should we skip this one?
Yeah. So there's the only interesting part about the performance is in the second chorus, she's kind of in the eye of the storm. Like the floor has a really cool graphic. That's it. End of commentary. Anyone else have anything to say?
I will say I don't know how they could make a song which sounded like a demo before still sound like a demo once it's been revamped. In my opinion, it just there's elements of the song which would work really well in other songs, but overall, it's a very weak package from North Macedonia, and I am surprised, to be honest. Not too surprised, but I don't know. I just expected better.
Yeah, I think it's just all so bland, and yeah, I think it's the last place in the semifinal. It's a very forgettable song and a very forgettable performance, and it's my second toilet break. So yeah, I think the toilet breaks are very common for many people. I think that many people will go to the toilet the time Andreu is going to perform. So
What I will add though is
not
the
that I
only
want to
thing.
be mean, but it's just forgettable.
It's not
It
because you're
can
Greek, you
be
just really don't like the song.
What I
yeah.
will add is that the only thing that's really going for that is that Serbia and Montenegro are in the same semi-final, so there will obviously be maybe some maybe voting there, but I don't know how.
I don't think that this is so. We can't be sure about that because in 2013, when we had, I think almost all ex-Yugoslavian countries were in the same semifinal, all were disqualified. So, since we have the juries in since 2009, and we can't be sure about the voting diaspora anymore.
And also, I think North Macedonia is very much a country you can count on giving you votes, but they necessarily can't count on the rest of us giving them votes. Like, if they were in the same semifinal as Croatia, I'd be like, okay, so they're probably going to give us 12 points. But we would probably give them 3, 4 tops. It's just not the same amount of love, which is sad, unfortunately. But yeah, I think the juries will appreciate her vocals because she was pitch perfect every single rehearsal, like every single time. And she was also one of the countries to like have to rehearse again because they fucked something up. I don't know what they fucked up because it was exactly the same every single time. And when I say exactly the same, I mean boring. Um, but yeah, there's just no pathway for this. And also, I think talking about the national final, everyone's favorite was that other ballad, Flower of Sorrow. That wouldn't qualify either. Huh? Sorry?
I thought it was Superman, the fan favorite. No?
Yeah, well, yeah, in the actual televote in Macedonia, but I mean, like, who the fandom really loved, and I think it was between Flower of Sorrow and
Oh, okay, yeah.
like
I thought that
like
was
what the Euro fans
yeah.
liked. And I think that Flower of Sorrow would also like be completely 10 because it's the semifinal is full of ballads that are better than that. Although I do have to say she released the Macedonian version of that song and it's like even better. Like it sounds really good. So, but unfortunately that's not the one she entered. Anywho, Estonia. So I haven't heard that. I didn't hear that song before the rehearsals. Now I've heard it like 7 times. It's an okay song. The problem is, so the staging is basically, again, it's completely empty. It's just him with a guitar, some really shitty graphics. He's running around, so he's out of breath constantly. So he isn't actually saying all the words, which is terrible. They are apparently extremely satisfied with their rehearsal. Um, I guess they're really gunning for that non-qualification, and I do think that this might end up a shock non-qualifier. But yeah, any thoughts, guys?
I followed the Istilal selection from November, so when I had the quarterfinals. This one was obviously pretty much the favourite. I think most people were expecting Stefan to win. I don't understand why they didn't play up to the Wild West theme within the song, the sort of the country theme. I did like that sort of the cowboys in the Istilal performance. And it's one of those songs that when I listen to it again and again, I kind of don't like it. So it's like I've heard it once and then it's like, oh, okay, yeah. So I agree. I don't think that the Estonia is going to qualify.
Well, first of all, I can't forget the that picture of the rehearsal where it was like empty seats. I mean, why would they even take this camera shot? I don't know what they were thinking. I know it's going to be with audience in the semifinal, but it still looked very bad. I don't know. Anyway, uh, yeah. Although I do enjoy this song, uh, it reminds me of that whole Avicii style. Um, yeah, the staging was very empty. Um, I don't know. I'm 50-50 on this one. I mean, they got through with what was the song's name in 2019? Storm, which was a weaker song with Victor Crone, I think.
Yeah, but that had staging, and it was more
Yeah,
radio.
yeah,
It
I
was more
know, but
mainstream.
yeah, but it was a weaker song still. I don't know. I'm 50-50 about Estonia. They have,
I think the
yeah,
one thing that
I don't know.
they have going for them is that there aren't any country songs or folk songs in this semifinal. Like if they were in the first semifinal, they would have had kind of Portugal in a way, Croatia, Iceland, Armenia, and all of those are better staging wise than this. Like even Croatia, who I don't really like, has staging. This just has a guitar and him being out of breath for 3 minutes because he's jogging. Yeah, it's not. Yeah. Speaking of forgettable, we have Romania next. So I have not seen a single full take of this. I'm going to be honest. The most I've seen is the 40-second rehearsal clip, just because it was my bathroom break every single time. So yeah, I don't have anything to say about this. So anyone want to take Romania on?
Yeah, normally I'd love this kind of song. It would be up my street, but unfortunately, this is one that has slipped under the radar for me. Romania. I wouldn't be sad to lose it in the semi-final. The only part I do like about the Romanian song is the part where it doesn't sing. It's got that diddly diddly. That part's alright, and it does remind me slightly of like a late 2000s Eurovision entry. If it was like in 2008 or 2009, you could be looking at a potential top five. For 2022, I just don't think it's good enough.
Well, to be honest, I'm not a huge fan of this song. I can barely hear it in full, but still, I can enjoy it. Um, anyway, I think that this could be a borderline qualifier. Places 9, 10, or maybe a borderline disqualifier, like Roxanne last year. Oh, no, she wasn't a borderline. Anyway, um,
Roxanne was miscast. Roxanne was just she wasn't even there.
yeah,
We can't confirm that
yeah,
she
yeah.
was there. It's a conspiracy theory. I saw it on Fox News.
I don't know. It has that Latin vibe that you know the Mediterranean countries are very used to. I mean, that could get votes from Cyprus. That could get votes from Spain, maybe.
But is Spain and oh yeah, they're voting.
I think they are. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the issue. I don't see many neighbors for Romania either. Like there's no Bulgaria, there's no Moldova, which are their two main 12 points givers.
Yeah, but
There's no Greece. There's
here's the thing. Romania was one of the powerhouses back. In the 2000s, together with Greece, together with
that was 10 years ago exactly.
yeah, they used the same. They use the same package. They think that we're back in the 2000s, in the 2010s, and I don't know how this could work in 2022, but still I could see this in the final because it's Eurovision, and we've seen many kids performances qualifying. I think,
I'll say that
and that's one example.
if Romania was to qualify, yeah, it would be a borderline, and I think it would be a producer's choice to put that maybe in the second or even opening position on the night. That's
Yeah,
hypothetically speaking.
yeah.
I would agree. I would even dare to say that it would come last in the final, but there is an option for Germany to come last, which is sad, but also like both of those songs are just such skips. They're like the definition of skip on any playlist. If it was a playlist of Latin music, this would be the first skip because it's not even that good of a Latin song. Anywho, next up we're going to Poland. We're not going to Poland in the sense that this is not winning. I think they tried everything to make the song interesting and stand out. The problem is everything that they've done is extremely cheap. The graphic of the water falling is extremely cheap. The graphic of the water on the lens is extremely cheap. Like it's the cheapest part of it, the performance. The dancers are completely disconnected from him. You don't even actually get to see what the hell the dancers are because there's never a close up of the dancers. They're just kind of shadows being there, and they're blocked by those same graphics. He's in a suit. He looks like he's going to prom. He is short enough to be going to prom. Yeah, I just don't. I'm not feeling it. It's definitely qualifying, but for anyone who's saying, "Oh, this is a," who was saying, this is a potential winner, see it. I just don't. Any thoughts?
One thing I'm enjoying at the moment on Instagram is they're taking the rehearsal clips and distorting them from all the events, saying like if Poland's producer or director was to film the entries, and it's like, I don't know, Brook, and it's like loads of graphics everywhere. So I'm enjoying that at the moment. It's become a bit of a meme within itself. Yeah, this song doesn't excite me the way I think it excites some people. I think he's a great vocalist, but again, I don't think the song does much. And I think the staging, they had an opportunity to really play with the lyric pulling too many strings. They could have had him like with dancers with like the string pulling at his arms like a puppet. It could look more sort of. It could look even darker than it does now. At the moment, it's giving me kind of like almost like high school drama vibes, and you got a guy in the middle just singing. It's probably the biggest disappointment this year.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And just to answer Aoife, I think the dancers are supposed to be nothing because they are nothing in the performance. Like there may be J.K. Rowling's the mentors or the ghosts of her being transphobic, but they're just a nothing, a void of nothingness. Yeah. Sorry,
yeah.
go on, Nicholas.
When I first saw the rehearsal clip, I was like, "What the bloody hell are those? Are those effects? They look very cheap and very PowerPoint. I want to impress my teacher effects." And I'm like, "No, that's not what the song needs." And I know his vocals are pitch perfect, and okay, he uses the same outfit since the national final, but that was I had the same question with the common one. What do the dancers represent? Because I was like scared watching them. They were like, I don't know. They caused me a very strange feeling, a very not me liking to watch his performance. It had an appealing effect on me. I don't know if that could, if other viewers could feel the same way as me. But yeah, it's definitely qualifying. But yeah, they could do something different with the staging. I
Yeah.
don't know what. I mean, the dancers are also very odd. they showed up, on the carpet ceremony a few hours ago with some see-through full-face hoodies, and I'm like, why? They
I could
tried.
say something, but I won't.
Yeah, yeah.
What I don't get about Poland as well is they are a country that do very well in the junior contest. They seem to have that really down to a T. They're coming second, third. I don't understand where Poland is kind of losing in that connection. They could easily copy the national final that they did in 2020, and they should just look at what they're doing with the junior contest and try and apply it to the adult contest. Definitely, the quality I think is much higher with the junior entries for Poland than the actual adult contest entries.
I think we could say the same thing about Georgia.
Yeah.
And even Armenia to an extent. Because, and also,
Armenia,
I mean, Georgia.
Yeah.
No, I mean, Armenia, it's good, but it's never like amazing. Like, they were amazing in the 2000s. Like,
and in 2016.
And in 2016, yes. And in 2016, yes. I agree.
That was one to remember for many years, yeah.
Yes. Especially
I
for
still
your dreams.
Her performance. It's like, I can't get her legs out of my head. I just can't. I can't.
I'm glad you're the one who said that. Yeah, no, but I think one thing that Georgia, for example, could do, because I think the same guy wrote and produced all their junior Eurovision entries, and they're really good entries. So, like, maybe give the guy a job. Anywho, we're moving on to Montenegro. Now, I am unable to say anything bad about Montenegro because I loved the song when it got released. I talked to Vladana. She's distraught because basically after the stand-in rehearsal, so before they got to Turin, they sent them 20 corrections. The Italian team did none of them. So they were in a real scramble for time because they only had 3 days to kind of create an entire performance. I think that they did the best with what they're working with. The staging itself looks really great. The issue is the black sun that kind of doesn't let you see the LEDs, because later in the song there are faces of people who died of COVID and they're like kind of flashing really fast. And like the stage gets brighter and stuff. But the Italian team has yet to execute the camera angles right. They're the only camera angles that I really loved. So she's on the B stage, and so in the beginning and at the end of the performance, the camera is above her and it kind of rotates and goes down to like see her profile, and it's really effective and really beautiful. But then everything else is just those slow pans from the Italian team rising from like the water and going around, and it's just awful. But at times when they like zoom out, it kind of looks like the thing she's wearing behind her is like a hologram, and it looks really nice. But yeah, I don't think she's qualifying. I think she will get the 12 points from Serbia and the Serbian jury, 10, 12 from Macedonia as well. But yeah, and it's really a shame because I wouldn't want Montenegro to get discouraged, because this is a really huge step forward for them, in my opinion, because they really tried with the staging. They had a good song, and I really hope they kind of continue on that upward trajectory. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a song I get particularly excited about, but it is, like you say, a step in the right direction for Montenegro. But that's really all I have to say on it. I think, again, just boils down to personal taste. But it's one of the performances I can't wait to see. I mean, I'm quite interested with the what I call the peacock design behind her. That's what I'm getting, peacock. But I'm just going to wait and see when it's performed live. I'm pretty confident that she'll have a good vocal. But yeah, that's what I have to say about it, to be honest.
It's going to hopefully be really good. Again, the issue is on the technical side, on the technical team. So it's kind of supposed to, like, so the dress has LED lights on it as well, and so it's supposed to like emulate water kind of going rippling, but they weren't in sync in the performance, so it kind of looked wonky. But again, that's not really up to her. Yeah, Nicholas, what do you think?
Well, Montenegro song is stuck in my head the last 2 weeks. Yeah, it's one of their best entries, like in ages, and just for their a whole, they tried out their best this year, and yeah, I would like to see them in the final just for this effort. I think. I don't know. I really want this in the final, but yeah, we have a lot of ballots this year, so I don't know what it could do
I
because
agree.
that circle on her back is like it depends on how the viewer is going to comprehend to it. For example, Harry thought it was like a peacock, but for someone else, it's going to be something else. It might get lost, in the translations from the lyrics to the staging.
I
I don't know,
agree.
but yeah, I'm also expecting to watch this live.
So next up we have Belgium. So again, I haven't heard the song in full until I didn't hear it in full until the rehearsals. I have nothing to comment because this is just so bland. It sounds like a demo. The staging is a demo of a really bad stage show. Any thoughts, anyone?
No, I agree. It's when I first heard this song, I even struggled to think of how else they were going to stage this song. I think agree. It's very much like a demo. There's not enough. There's not enough instrumentation in this song. Not that it needs a lot, but it needs more than what it currently has. Like a remix or something.
Yeah, at first I was like, okay, it's a decent song because it was released in a period of crisis for this year because one song was published and we were like, oh, it's way worse than the previous one, and I was like, okay, this is quite a decent one. But yeah, the staging is bland, as Marine said. um I don't know, going from bland to Senek to Hooverphonic to this, I don't know. I think that Belgium
You
should.
forgot Elliot, and I think there's a reason. Both of these were RTBF, and they're both boring.
Yeah, yeah. um, they really need to step back on the track they had from 2015 to 2021,
Yeah,
except for 2019, which I didn't like. The other entries from Belgium were very good, and I thought that they were turning into a powerhouse. They have to come back next year with a better song to step back on their game again.
I agree. I do think that this does have a chance of qualifying, considering it's sonically completely a different genre from everything else. But I don't really want to see it in the final.
I don't think it's qualifying, to be honest. I don't know. It will be very low with the viewers.
And I think this will help Montenegro. Like,
Hopefully, yeah.
yeah, because Poland isn't as wow as it could have been, and then you have Montenegro, and then you have Belgium. Yeah. Anywho, we go to Sweden. So it's the same staging from Melodifestivalen, except they have yet to do it right. And so in the second rehearsals, they usually have time for 3 takes, and then the third take is the one for YouTube. They did a take and a half because constantly the sound wasn't working. Someone somewhere wasn't working. She couldn't hear herself. Then the mic wasn't working. Then this, then that, and in the end, she literally just said, "Okay, let's just do this. Like, let's just because we don't have time. We have to get this recorded. And let's just get it over with." The level of unprofessionalism among the Rye team is just astonishing. So in the performance, I think it's during the like lead up to the second chorus, she's like moving, she's leaning on the like ring and moving it, and like the camera is following her. So on the other side of the ring, there's a prop person slowly rotating the ring, and you could see him because the camera angles were so bad. You could see him the entire time. Yeah, they have what, 2 rehearsals tomorrow, and one of those rehearsals is the jury show. I really hope that they get their ducks in the row, but one of the biggest issues is the fact that in every single performance that has a prop that moves, you can see the prop people moving the prop. I think this is definitely a qualifier, but yeah, the team just is awful, and it really takes you out of the performance. Thoughts, guys?
Yeah, I agree. Without a doubt, this is qualifying. It's Sweden doing what it does best with its music. Yeah, from the clip I saw, something felt off, and I think it is like you described there, because obviously you've seen it, the technical issues behind it. But I have no doubt that Cornelia, again, will sell this song, and I think she's going to deliver it on the night. Viewers are going to love it. Jury's going to love it. This will be a deserved Swedish jury or public vote win. I think there's been a few in the past where it's been like, we didn't need Sweden that high, maybe not even in the final, but this is deserved. I think this is going to do very well.
Okay, so first of all, I want to ask Marin, who has the online press room pass. Was she hit by an electric current during her rehearsal? Because I read something like that on a Greek newspaper, and I don't know.
No, you know what it was? So you know how she has a different microphone? She's using that like old-timey microphone for her
Yeah.
performance that plugs in. So the microphone kept kind of, going in and out and buffering, and also like making noises, like electrical noises, like the stuff you hear like when a radio f's up, when you don't have signal. That's what and she literally said, oh, it's making like these electrical noises.
Oh, okay.
That's what she was referring to, and I think it just got badly translated by the
Yeah,
Greek
yeah,
team. Yeah.
yeah.
No. She was fine physically.
Okay.
Unless,
It was like,
an Italian gigolo, like.
yeah, because I'm totally expecting, the sound to fall on the head of an artist, and I'm really scared this year for, the health of the performers. Anyway, yeah, there's no doubt in the qualification of Sweden. It's their most authentic song since I will say Euphoria, which is 10 years ago. I don't know. It's their most original entry since Euphoria, I think.
And most heartfelt for sure.
Yeah. She has a very raw feeling, and I can feel it. I feel it. I can get related to the song. Although I don't know, we've seen how the vibe that's behind the Swedish delegation when they want to win. We've seen it with Euphoria. We've seen it with Heroes. I don't know if it's the same vibe with Hold Me Closer this year. They will get in the top 3 for sure, but I don't know if they're winning. I'm getting the same vibes with Sanna Nielsen in 2014. Yeah, she was the fan favorite, but there was something that was missing. I don't know. I don't think they're winning. They're getting a top 3 placement again, but I will be very happy if they win because it's their most different song. And it will be, a 10-year celebration from Lorene's win. But yeah, we've seen them how they are and what they're saying and how they're putting the song on the stage when they want to win.
I mean,
I don't know.
I think the issue for me this year is that I don't see winner vibes from any entry. Like, no entry is giving me winner vibes.
Yeah, that's for
and
sure.
the rehearsals, I
years.
was hoping, okay, so I'm gonna see the winner. like after I see the rehearsals, a clear winner will like spring out to me because I've like predicted every single Eurovision winner since 2009, apart from Azerbaijan, but that year also sucked just as much as this one does. So it's pretty open, but I definitely think Sweden is up there. Speaking of bad staging, we have the complete opposite in the Czech Republic, where it seems that the technical team really listened to the instructions, that I think the Czech team just yelled at them louder. So they were like, okay, yeah, we actually have to do shit for this one. Every camera angle was fantastic. Every single run through was fantastic, vocally fantastic in every single way. In the beginning, the last shot before she does the big note was a bit different and I didn't like it. And then in the last run through, they did it exactly the way I wanted it to. So this is comfortably qualifying. The lights off effect is really effective. And yeah, really positive about this one. What do you guys think?
Yeah, this is an interesting one because, again, it was like Serbia. It's not been a day that hasn't passed I haven't listened to this song and still really enjoyed it every time. It seems fresh to me. It's exactly what the Czech Republic should be sending. I was really quite concerned with Dominica's vocal in some of the national final guest performances where she was kind of a bit off and almost like shouting the last notes, the really high notes. But watching the rehearsal clip, it seems like she's nailed it. She's really rehearsed it, and I'm looking forward to, because in that clip you see when the melody plays and have these like, mad flashing lights, and it just looks insane. It just looks so cool.
This is going to be really loved in the arena. Trust me, it's going to be. Yeah, Nicholas.
Okay, I will keep my fingers crossed for this one because it's my runner-up. Yeah, I'm exactly in the same situation with Harry. There is not a single day that has passed by and I haven't listened to the song. It's EDM and electronic dance music. We haven't seen much in Eurovision. There's no doubt that this is the best Czech entry ever for me. Yeah, I get the chills with the gradual lights off effect before the second chorus. It was exactly how I had it in my mind. It's exactly how I had the performance pictured in my head. And I was like, yeah, that's exactly what I wanted from this song. Yeah, I will try to be realistic. I don't think it's going to do that well, although I want it to go very well. And I hope it will qualify because I don't know.
Oh, it's qualifying for
Kind of
sure. Like,
pessimistic
trust me, I've
already.
seen the entire thing. There's no way. This screams
Great,
qualifier.
great, great. I
And
really
it
want it in the final.
and it's definitely top 15, and it could potentially slide into the top 10. Considering that juries really love Czech Republic, because I mean Lake Malawi got a really low televote score, but they were really high in the jury vote. And I think the same thing will happen here. The juries will eat this up vocally and like performance wise. But yeah, so that was the second semifinal. I
Well,
do want to
before we go
go.
to the big
Okay.
five, yeah, I don't think that they will be very low in the televoting. It's a very catchy song to
No,
be
no, no,
that
no, no,
low
no,
in the
no, no.
televoting.
Yeah, I was just talking about Lake Malawi. Considering they didn't really have televote appeal, this will
Mhm.
definitely have televote appeal. So I'm not
Yeah,
scared for it.
I really hope so. They really deserve it.
Mhm.
And because Dominic has rehearsed the song, and you can tell that she has rehearsed it a lot.
Yeah, yeah. Anywho, we are entering the final stretch of the second rehearsals, and that's the big five. So I was positively surprised by three out of the five, which I guess is pretty good for the big five. And I think the biggest surprise of the year came from the big five. And we're gonna talk about that one last. We're gonna save it for last, the best for last. But I think first we have to talk about Italy. the host country, it was not good. So the staging is very boring. It's when you have a stage show that is more boring than Portugal 2018, you have an issue. And I loved the song by Portugal in 2018. It was Claudia Pascal. They felt bothered being there. And yes, they're both on tour. They're both very tired, but I don't think they're going to get their energy levels up for the final, to be honest. If they're tired now, after a week of doing press and not sleeping, they're going to be even worse. I'm not feeling good about this. This definitely isn't a winner. Nothing about it screams winner. If this was a year where you only had one simple performance and it was this one, then maybe, but you have a lot of ballads with a lot of simple performances. I don't see it. If I'm going to compare simple performances, the Netherlands wins it for me. And I have issues with the Dutch performance as well. But yeah, any thoughts?
I have never enjoyed Brividi as a song, and I think what Italy has fallen into a trap here. They've probably looked at it and gone, right, we've got Mahmood. People still remember him from 2019. Everyone loved Soldi, and they're probably gonna really like this guy Blanco. He's a little different, and it works well. But no, Italy. If there was one country that I thought was going to host Eurovision and break the host curse, where the host country seems to always finish a bit lower, it was going to be Italy. But after seeing the clips of rehearsals and just my general dislike of the song, personally, I don't see it doing very well. Maybe sort of top 10 at most, but I think that's on the weight of it being Mahmoud and not the song.
And just to answer Aoife, so tomorrow you have 2 dress rehearsals. So one starts at 3 p.m. and ends at 5:25, and then the second one, which will be the jury show, it starts at 9 p.m. and ends at 11:25. So yeah, so they technically have 2 rehearsals, but in reality they only have one. Like the second rehearsal is where I think it gets locked. So anything that they make for that one, that's it. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, Nicholas.
Okay. Yeah, I have mixed feelings about this song because okay, I like it and I listen to it a lot. But yeah, you can tell that he's just there to perform. I think we've seen him with Soldi. He was there to win it.
Mhm.
And this year he's just a guest star, I think. He's just there to perform because it's the host country. Um, and that's the reason he won Sanremo, I think, just because of the name and the whole rumor he has. Um, yeah, I barely see this making the top 5. I think um, it will be like Italy back in 2017. He was 6th, I think, and the hype around the song was massive, and I was like, why? He's not even a good live performer. Anyway, um, yeah, I can totally understand that they're tired and everything, but they seemed like they're snobbing the contest, and that's not a good attitude. I think they could just cheer up, just for the record, just for you know to be seen as they're having fun and not actually having fun.
Yeah, and actually another band that put in that category is Finland. I think they're really trying to be above the contest. They're like, why are we here? We're gonna win this, or yeah,
And they're barely making the final. Yeah.
yeah, they're barely making the final if they make the final. Anywho, I think we should move on to my favorite entry of the year, and it has to be France. So the staging is the same. there are elements of the staging that are even better. The only element that isn't working is the camera angles. They're not as effective as in the national final, and that's because the Italian team is, again, extremely slow. Everything else about the staging is fantastic. They have the Celtic symbols, which I was gunning for. Like, I hoped that they did that, and they did it. And there is a really great moment. I can't remember at what point, but basically at one point they show an aerial shot, and you see the like Celtic kind of, the symbol with the three, yeah, and yeah, it looks really nice. And I think that France will be a shocking top five,
That won't be
and well, because everyone's kind of downplaying France this year in the fandom, and I think they're going to do really well. Especially, like, there's no one else doing a green staging. There's nothing sonically like this. They will have 100% 12 points potentially from the UK, considering you have Scottish Gaelic people, Welsh speakers, Cornish speakers, Irish speakers, Manx speakers. Like, all of these minorities that are underrepresented in the UK will definitely gravitate towards their Celtic neighbors. And then on top of that, I think minorities across Europe will vote for this. Again, I mentioned the Sami people, the Lapland people in Finland. Spain is like 30% people who aren't Spanish. Italy as well, Germany. I think this will really resonate with, if the commentators choose to talk about them, being a minority group. I think it will really kind of motivate a lot of minority groups to vote towards France. Yeah. Any thoughts, guys?
This song is very much, again, like the Serbia and Czech Republic. It is a song that when it was released, I have not stopped listening to it ever since. And it every time, the goosebumps when I hear the opening sort of wail, is what I call it, that the sort of and then the beat is sick. It's so cool. I love the electric thing. I'm really, really glad that France didn't fall into the Cyprus and Finland trap of what worked well the year before, we'll do it again, but with something different. I'm really glad they didn't go for Voila Part 2. I'm glad they went for something completely left field for France. You could dare say that it was probably a risk, because there's no French at all in the songs this year. And I think people will pick up the phone and respond to this very well. I think the public vote, like you said, the UK probably has the best chance for France to receive a 12 points. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing, that I have to congratulate France for not sending a Voila 2.0 this year. I was never a fan of Voila. Okay, it's a very beautiful song, but I never got the hype around it. Anyway, yeah, it's their most original song in ages, I think, together with Sweden. And the fact that it doesn't contain a single French lyric is also captivating for me. I don't know, they have huge balls to do that in the French television. With the French being a little nationalist.
Anti,
Anyway,
yeah.
yeah. Yeah, it won't be a shocking top 5 placement for me. I would enjoy it. I can see this in the top 5.
Yeah. And I would really love to go to Rennes next year for Eurovision. I think that
Yeah.
would be great.
And
I'm
actually,
sure they have any arenas, but Rennes is a big city in Britain.
And I think it's the first contest in years that we don't have a single French lyric in any song.
No, it's the first one ever.
Yeah.
It's but again, I really hope this also kind of, as like you said, you guys commented on being really happy that they didn't just copy and paste what they did last year. But I'm really hoping that other countries copy and paste in terms of sending minority languages into like the national finals and then hopefully Eurovision. I think that would be really cool. Like for example, the Netherlands, they still speak Frisian and it's an official language in one of their provinces. They've never sung in it, and this year they sent a song in Dutch and it was received really well. I think that, and they are kind of starting to take risks. Like last year with Django McCroy, that had some Stranantongo, so I think that might hopefully emulate. But yeah, it's my winner, so obviously I'm biased. But yeah, I was really impressed by by the Spaniards. Now we have to talk about a bit of a underwhelming performance by an underwhelming performer by an even more underwhelming song, and that's Germany. This is so boring. I don't even have anything to say. But I think the staging is clever, but it's not enough to save it. Yeah. Taking up to you guys.
Yeah, I watched the German national final and I really wasn't expecting big things. I think the wrong song won. I much preferred
There was a right one.
the wrong one. Yeah. Well, I much preferred Mal and Jonas personally. I did like one. Taste. But yeah, unfortunately, I think Germany have an uphill battle. I don't think that they're going to be leaving the bottom five. Just my opinion.
Okay, I have to be honest. It's not that bad of a song. I mean, it kind of reminds me, reading the stars, airplanes, radio hits of the early 2010s.
Yeah, and
I think
it's
that
2022.
this is the reason why it's getting so much hate, that it's kind of old, I think. But it's not the bad old like Romania. Okay, it will most likely end in bottom five, but I don't think that it's a last placer. We have way worse songs that deserve last place if they qualify. To be honest.
Like I'm only thinking of Estonia right now and Romania, and then potentially Croatia, but I don't think we're going to qualify.
But I think
And
this would be
Israel if they qualify.
I thought we excluded that scenario. Please don't give me nightmares.
No, I don't know. I don't know. I'm reading very frightening things in the last few days. I don't know what to expect.
Oh, Aoife, I would love for you guys to send a song in Irish. And that's actually, I don't know why I didn't mention that. I'm really hoping that the UK or Ireland see what France did and maybe take a risk. Because there are some really great performers in Welsh and Scottish Gaelic. And there's one half Welsh, half Cornish woman. She was actually in kind of a famous band. I forgot the name. But yeah, now she's solo and she's doing like entire albums in Cornish. So and that's just and she's like really trippy and 70s and very Eurovision campy. And I think she would be an interesting choice. The name is Gweno for anyone who's interested. But yeah, I would really love to see an Irish language entry from Ireland. What do you guys think?
Yeah, in terms of like it would be great to hear them in modern songs, like the French entry, which blends the sort of the minority language and minority background with the modern kind of pop beat. It doesn't even got to be a modern dance track, it can just be like a ballad, but I think it would be nice to see these languages showcased. I think the UK could definitely experiment with a Welsh language song. I think it's a lovely language.
And it wouldn't even need to be kind of like mixing traditional with modern because you quite actually have pop music in these languages. So it's not like they're just like kind of reviving it to like boost tradition. It's something that could work. Yeah. So okay, I know the next one is quite a big favorite among Nicholas. I'm a bit more lukewarm towards it, though I have to say the rehearsal blew me away. It's Spain. So Nicholas, maybe you should kick it off.
No, why? I enjoy Spain.
No, yeah, I said like you really love Spain. I like Spain. I just
Oh,
don't
okay.
love Spain.
I
So can
thought you
you?
said the opposite. Yeah.
No, 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 no.
Uh, okay, so um, I think it's time Spain won. I wouldn't mind slow mo winning. After 53 years of Spain waiting, 52, 50 plus anyway. Um, yeah, she has the star factor, I think. And I really hate that, especially when the Greek fans do this, that they compare her to Eleni Foureira. They're like two completely different songs. I mean, okay, we have Fuego, which was, a pop banger, and Eleni is a showwoman, but Slow Mo is a more Spanish pop song. Fuego was not that. Fuego was a, I don't know how to describe this exactly. It was like
It was
a,
different for
a
sure.
pop song, yeah. It was, and it was how it was set up on the stage. I mean, it could be a song that could be easily forgettable if it was considering that we had a different staging. But they're both so women, and there's no reason to compare them. There is a whole industry of these pop songs, and they're in the same package, I think. Yeah, I can see Spain doing well. I don't know if they could win. I was blown away with her rehearsal clip yesterday, and we saw, the first part of the song. But a known person of mine sent me, a part that was um, leaked from Olga Spain, which is the last chorus, which has changed, I think, a little from the Benidorm Fest, if I'm not mistaken.
No, you know what she does? So that's what blew me away. So she does a huge vocal run before the last chorus, and then everything else is pretty much the same. But the beginning is completely changed. So in the beginning, there's a different sound effect. So it's not her like walking among the paparazzi. It's her footsteps you hear. It kind of sounds, and you also have kind of like oh my god, Andalusian vibe. Like she's gonna fight with bulls. Yeah, but I think it's even more effective. Yeah, I really liked it. It's not, I don't think it was like hurt by the changes.
Okay, that's less cringy than, the paparazzi effect. The paparazzi effect was kind of cringy, in my opinion. Um, yeah, I really enjoy the song, and I want this to go well, and I think it will, at least with the televoting.
Harry.
Yeah, I can't imagine any reality where this song doesn't finish in the top 5. I think this is amazing. I think this is what we've been waiting for from Spain. This is we've had like, hate to bring it up, but we had Cyprus had brought this kind of song before, and even like Norway and the national selections had this kind of song before. But what Spain has brought is, I'd say, among the kind of level of like Camila Cabello or Jennifer Lopez, you're getting that star quality. She sells a song, she's dancing, and she doesn't really lose her breath. Like you're saying, like with Stefan, when he's jogging around the stage, he's losing his breath, whereas she doesn't stop, but is able to carry off vocal runs, every single lyric, and it's also incredibly current. It's representative of Spanish music as well, and I do see it doing extremely well. I think Spain can really be proud of this one.
And also, I think the Tansugueiras fans really need to shut up. Because I'm a Tansugueira fan. I wanted them to win over her, but like, even I'm over it. Like, I can appreciate the song for what it is. But am I still waiting for Spain to send songs in their other national languages? Yes. But they need to shut up because they be haters. But also, Chanel fans need to also shut the hell up. Like, you're not that amazing compared to everyone else. Calm down. Now, I think we can move on to Harry's neck of the woods, and I'm gonna let you kick it off. But I will say that I was floored by his performance. He isn't giving me winner vibes yet, but like he was the closest one to giving me winner vibes. But yeah,
It's that's incredible to hear. For perspective, I was not in on the TikTok crowd, so I'd never heard of Sam Ryder prior to the contest. When I heard the song the first time, I was like, "Are we really sending this song? They're gonna have to. He's gonna be amazing. He's gonna have to nail it every single time." He does. His vocals are just absolutely flawless. I heard somewhere saying that he's not even had a vocal coach for more than a month, and he's able to pull off that vocal. That's what Freddie Mercury style vocal. The song sounds dated, but not in a cheesy way. It sounds like what you were saying, Elton John, David Bowie, Freddie Mercury, these 70s glam rock style.
Wait, is that how you actually say it, Bowie?
That's how I say it. I think Bowie is what most people call it. I say David Bowie.
Okay, because I was like, did those damn Americans teach me wrong? I wouldn't be shocked.
Yeah, I think what was really I for days when I was watching the house, I was like, all right, okay, UK, we're not sending huge rockets hanging from the stage like we did with the trumpets last year. Please don't do that. And then what we got was this incredible structure on stage that folds out, and then he is playing it on a guitar, and it kind of was odd to watch the UK actually sending something that people were getting behind and really going, you know, we actually want the UK to win. This is not a hope and a dream and a prayer. You know, they've put some real money, they've invested time. I am incredibly proud of this entry as a UK fan.
And I have to say, the structure, it reminds me, it looks exactly like the stage layout for the Eurovision Song Contest 1987 in Ireland when the UK won.
Yeah.
Because the structure looks like those metal beams that they had. And yeah, so maybe that's a sign. I don't know. Nicholas, thoughts?
Okay, so yeah, it's the UK's best entry since Lucy Jones, which is my favorite UK entry for the last decade. I mean,
Since Jadewin, I think, in 2009.
yeah,
I don't think we
that's why
had it.
I mentioned in the last decade because
Yeah.
we have It's My Time in the 2000s anyway. Um, yeah, I think that it has a top 10 possibility, in my opinion, and it would be very well deserved because you can tell that Sam has tried and he wants to be there. He really enjoys himself, and it's a very nice song too. I mean, it would be a huge robbery to be, I don't know, bottom 5, bottom 10. I mean, this has to be from place 15 and up for sure. And the staging is very good too.
I don't think this is coming top 15. This is coming top 10 comfortably. And then I don't know where it can
I
end
wouldn't
up.
mind at all. I really want to see the UK in the top 10, especially after last year, which was I teared up. I think the whole block heard me screaming because I was like, why? Yeah, the UK for sure has stepped up their game this year.
So I think, we should kind of consider ending the stream soon. So I just want to pose a last minute question to you guys. Who do you think is winning and who your actual top three is? Mine are my top three is France for sure winning. The UK comes in second, and then third is Sweden. and I have no effing clue who's gonna win. But if I had to like put money on it, I'd put it on Ukraine or Sweden, but or the UK. Those are the three safer ones. But yeah, your guy. Who else wants to go?
I think the top three. My top three is the Czech Republic in third. Second will be Spain, and I'm going to back my man Sam Ryder and say the UK. And it doesn't come from a place of complacency. I do just genuinely think this is going to do extremely well. The UK first, and I think who's winning. I'm backing Spain.
Okay, it's my turn, huh? Okay, my top three would be Sweden in the third place, then the Czech Republic in the second, and Greece as my winner. um, yeah, I try to be as least biased as possible, but I can't. Anywho, who I see winning? Okay, I want Spain because they've waited way too long, and yeah, it's their time, I think. But I'm seeing, as much as I hate to say this, but Ukraine could do it,
Yeah,
which I completely disagree, and I'm not watching the contest for the next year if this happens. I'm being clear on that. I don't want to mix up the Eurovision with the politics. We've done that. We've done this enough, and we have to consider that if they win, it's going to be their third win, and it's going to be their second political win because 2016 was the same.
I mean, yeah, I kind of echo some of the things you say, but yeah, thank you guys so much for joining. Hopefully, we're going to be on the stream tomorrow as well. We're going to be talking about kind of the run up to the first semifinal, the jury show, and also the American Song Contest final, which is happening tomorrow. So hopefully, we're
Oh,
going to
it's
have a
tomorrow. Oh,
yeah, it's tomorrow. Yeah. So
oh
hopefully there's going to be a bigger panel tomorrow. We might even get one of the American Song Contest artists on. So that's a weird reason to subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, please do that. Yeah, and we will see you guys tomorrow. Oh, and another maybe exclusive from what we know, the American Song Contest winner will be going to Turin. We don't know if he or she is going to be performing, but they're definitely going to be there. So that's something to keep your eyes out during the final. Anywho, thank you guys so much for watching, and see ya. Bye.
bye.
I want you and